Welcome back to part 2. We're going to be installing the camshaft and spraying and cleaning out the block a little bit so we can get things going.
Alright, so we're going to start off by going ahead and pointing out that we can go ahead and soak our lifters in some oil. I just use a big Ziploc bag, put all the lifters in, and just use some spare 530 oil that I had laying around, and we'll let those soak until we're ready to put them in. Alright, and as far as this goes, I'm picking up right where I left off. We're going to go ahead and take all this off, all this tape, and see how it looks without all the tape, and then we're going to rinse it out. We're just going to use water outside. We're going to rinse it out since this motor was sitting for a while. There's a bunch of gunk in there, and then we'll blow it off with the air gun and then spray some WD-40 on it right away, and then get the cam bearing surfaces all cleaned up and lube the cam up and slide it in there. And you'll need your one of your cam sprockets by this point as well if you don't already have that, because we're just going to hold the cam on with the top one for now, and then next video we'll do the crankshaft. So I'm going to go ahead and start tearing this motor apart, or the paint off the motor, and we'll go clean it. Alright, so I actually don't think we're going to hose this thing out. For some reason I was thinking that it was more cruddy than it was. I mean, there's your typical dust collect and a little bit of grime collect on the WD-40 and everything in there, but I think it's all stuff that we can wipe and blow out of there. So I don't think we're actually going to wash this, but if yours is like really bad, I would definitely probably try to wash it if I were you. Yeah, I'm gonna go over what it takes to, just in case your machine shop didn't do the cam bearings for you. I'm gonna go ahead and measure. I'm gonna use a mic here and mic the outside of one of the front part of the cam, and then what this the front cam bearing is. And yeah, so let's go ahead and take the cam out here. My machine shop, or the machine shop that this motor was taken to, we gave them the cam and they put the cam bearings and everything in for us, so we didn't have to worry about that. It looked like he actually had to hone it out a little bit. So yeah, we'll go ahead and mic the outside of this. All right, so it looks like we got about 2 165 thousandths, and that's what is going to be sliding inside the cam bearings. So now I think there should be about 1/1000 and a half to 2/1000 of clearance. So now this is a snap gauge right here. Might be a little big for my application, but snug this up, pop that out. Oh, it looks like I was on the oil journal. Get a little resistance in there. All right. Okay, so that actually seems like a lot. I got a bad measurement here. Let's do a double check. Okay. Well, maybe I was wrong with what I knew. We got about 6 thousandths difference there, actually. I'm not gonna go ahead and install the cam just yet, but let's see what happens if I go to slide this in here. See how loose it is. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do a little research, see about that. That almost seems a little loose. Because that's 5,000, that's about 6 thousandths bigger than the actual cam bearing, so I'll come back to you when I find out a little bit of information. Okay, so yes, it is an issue. We're gonna have to send this back to the machine shop and have them put a new front cam bearing in. I'm gonna go through and measure the rest of them. I'm on the second. So the second cam bearing, it's actually exactly how it should be. There's only about 2 thousandths of, I got it right here, I already got it on the snap gauge. We got about 2 thousandths clearance, and that's exactly what we want. Now 6 thousandths, that's quite insane for a bearing. That's gonna make the oil go all berserk in there. So yeah, yeah, that kind of stinks. I'm gonna have to call the guy and see if he wants to come pick this up, and I guess we will be back with the video next time. All right, so we are back from the machine shop with the new cam bearings in here. These are like, I don't quite remember what they said that they put in here, but they're a different kind of material. And they seem really nice and stout. They're a little more expensive too. And I already went through and checked all the clearances. There's only about 3 thousandths of clearance all the way down these, so they're all even, and that's exactly what we want. I mean, ideally you would want about 2, but I got about 2.5 to 3 on every single one of the cam bearings. So now we went ahead and blew most of the debris out of here, since we're getting ready to start actually putting stuff together. So now it is time to install the cam, and we're going to come in here with the cam. We're gonna put, you can use assembly lube or just a bunch of oil. Like I've just coated the cam in oil before for installing the cam. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and install the cam here. We're gonna use anti-seize this time. I don't have any extra oil just to be using. We're gonna go ahead and start by taking some of this anti-seize, and there's all kinds, or not just anti-seize, but assembly lube, and go through, do this in all of the cam bearings, and we will start with the cam. Next here, we are going to pretty much run a bead all the way down the cam. Okay, we got that on there. Now we're just going to smother this whole thing. Want to make sure to get your journals really good. Man, this stuff stinks. A lot of times you can get the red stuff or whatnot. This kind of old school assembly lube. Okay, we're going to get this all rubbed in here. And then We're gonna go directly over to the top here. Have one hand behind each of the, there we go. Should feel a little bit of friction, especially on the first few. There's two, especially if you're using this thick assembly lube, because it's going to create kind of a suction. Just kind of spin it. Don't, if you notice that something's not going in correctly, don't ram it. So for here, we're going to get this front plate in, and we're going to call that good. And it looks like it's in there pretty good, felt really solid. Now let me change my gloves out real quick. We'll get the cam plate on real quick. Kind of wipe the space where the O-ring is going to be pretty well. And rag. Okay. So this our cam plate here, and ordered this and a set of cam bolts from Michigan Motorsports because the original one, the O-ring, was completely gone. I have no idea where it's at. And these bolts did actually not come with any Loctite on them, so we're gonna drizzle a little bit of Loctite on them just to make sure they're gonna be good. And we'll get the first one in. Upside down. Okay. Now we can Loctite the rest of these. Alright, looks good. The reason why we're doing this now, once we have the cam plate on, we'll throw the timing gear on the front side of the cam, so we know that the cam's going to stay in place for all the other installations that we're getting ready to do. And we'll take our socket here, and it's nice that it has countersink, so it'll line everything up for you correctly. Hand tied everything. This is where you're going to start needing your torque wrench. Alright, hand tight. Get our torque wrench here. Okay, we're going to set these to 18 foot-pounds. So we'll get it to where it's kind of feels a little snug on each of these. Okay. Alright, it's stuck in here. These metric bolts. Okay, 18 on that one. Oh, that's not good. I'm using my wrong socket. It'll be fine. It was really close, and I'm surprised it's getting caught. Okay. This one feels really weird, so I'm not going to send it in there anymore. I do not like that, though. And 15. Alright, don't be like me and use metric size Allen heads. I'm not sure. I didn't realize that they were going to be metric. Okay. So now we're going to come in here, the timing with the sprocket. Be careful because your cam can still slide towards the back. We're going to use that alignment pin there. There we go. And we're just going to, we're not gonna tighten these quite yet. Just gonna go ahead and tighten these on here. Now, turning nice, and that ensures that the cam isn't going to go forward or backwards, and once we tighten it up, it's not going to go anywhere. Feels really smooth, no wiggling, and that is the end of our second part of our video. Stay tuned, and next we're going to go ahead and do the crank.